On Security Desk SD 5.2, the user interface, we're going to have our home page. I mentioned the fact that we now can clearly identify our Security Desk with the home page. Every time we want to go back to our home page, we can just look for this task. Then we're going to have our application tray on the top. It's going to give us a lot of information we're going to cover in a little bit here. We're going to have our taskbar. All the tasks that I create are going to be shown on the taskbar right here on top. And one good thing that we can do is we can actually cycle our task if we wanted to. We do have our report and events pane. By default, we're going to notice that it's hidden. Again, to give more space to the user to view entities such as cameras. But I'm going to show you where it is. To the left, we have our logical view, or all the entities and doors are going to be here on the left side. And then we have our canvas, which can be changed. Normally, most people use the 2x2 area, but we have different formats that we can use to add more entities and cameras to the canvas. And to the right side, we have our dashboard. Some of the controls, such as PTC, exporting video, we have the ability to unlock doors, is available on the dashboard. So let's take a look at the logical view within Security Desk. When you have on the top, we're going to have our search and name filter. Actually, it's a quick way to look for any entities within my system. So if I know I'm going to look for a camera, and I really can't remember either the IP address, or I somewhat know the name of the camera, I just really can't remember the complete name or number, I can just use the search filter, and I can quickly find my camera within my system. I can do the same thing with doors, or again any other entity within my Security Center application. On the top, I'm going to be able to open the search window. I can also use that button to clear my filter and retype the proper filter that I want to use. Again, this little globe that I see here is my directory, and every single one of the entities underneath my directory. On this example, we have areas represented by floors. If I had elevators, for example, and I have my doors and I have my cameras as well. They're all underneath my directory, again represented by the globe. I'm going to have my areas, which is basically a way to group my entities in a way that it makes sense to me within the system. So I can group, for example, doors within areas. I can call it floor number 1, and all the doors within that area or within that floor are going to be contained on that one area that I created. And I can do the same thing for my cameras. I'm going to see the arrow that I can click, and I'm going to see all the entities within my area, or within my top level area, if you want to call it, of top level area. I'm going to have my shell entities underneath that. And I will have if I'm federating any other Omnicast system or Security Center system, are going to be represented by another globe, which is a little different than the one on the top. And this one has a little yellow arrow pointing up, and this will be for an Omnicast system, and one that is almost similar to the directory that I have, but this one again has a yellow arrow. It represents a Security Center federation. I can then right click to adjust the display of inactive entities, and I can they're actually going to show yellow if they're not active within the system. And again, we're going to quickly take a look at the other options in the live system. Notification tray, I have a lot of information on my Security Desk application. It tells me whether or not I have an export and whether or not it completed. Video exporting, if I'm cycling different tasks that I create. If I do have any active alarms, but as you can see, threat levels, basically indicators of activities within the total system, different conditions within my system. I can actually execute hot actions instead of waiting for an event to trigger an action. I can actually trigger those actions manually. Remote monitoring, this is something new in 5.2. I can tell the ID of my monitor and the volume, login information, which directory I'm logging into, the CPU meter from the Windows machine, my local time as well.